Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 6, 2025, and this is my weekly market review, where I'm reviewing the NASDAQ 100, that's QQQ, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. All right, let's jump over here to these charts and see what we see. Let's maximize this quarterly chart and zoom in here just a little bit. And as we can see, we got a big green candle that's looking very bullish on this big picture. We're back above the pivot. We're back above this little area where I thought we needed to get above these highs in this area here. So this market is looking very bullish at this time. Maybe we can hit all-time high come next week, because again, we only 10 points away. The NASDAQ definitely can move 10 points and get to us an all-time high next week. But let's go ahead and go down to this monthly chart and see what we see on this monthly chart. I missed the end of the month last month, but we can see we closed May off above the 9-10 moving average. That's this blue line right here, and this candle ended up closing above that level right there. And right now we're actually getting confirmation, that we are ready to go higher. And it's just right now we're going to be fighting this top up here at this 540. Can we cross that top? Can we cross that top? Can we cross that top? That's what we're going to be fighting come next week. And we are fighting at a top and but that's what we see. That's what we see. We all can see that. And let's just see how this plays out come next week on. And that's what we can see on this monthly chart here. Let's go ahead and go down to the weekly chart and see what we see there on this weekly chart. On this weekly chart, we can see everything looks good. We ended up gapping above this 50 moving average and come this week, on Tuesday look like and which is a good thing. We got above this little lower area where I thought was very, based on what I'm looking at in the market, it was very significant. We got above this area right here, and we ended up closing above that area. So now that's why I think we have a very good chance of actually breaking and making all-time high. We might break out, fake out, but we can break out above all-time highs come next week. We have to kind of like just wait and see what happened there. No trade recommendation. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's looking very strong. The NASDAQ is looking very strong to the upside even with everything that's going on at this time. So that's what I see. But let's go ahead and go down to the daily noise and wrap this on up. Wrap this on up. As we can see here on the daily noise, I want to zoom on in here, right? We know we're fighting that 540 area. What I want to look at, take a closer look. Let's zoom on in here a little bit more, make this picture a little bit bigger, and see what happened here today. Number one, come next week, we will be opening above. Look like we will be opening above pivot, that white line. We did have a bearish looking pattern here with this red candle here and this green candle here, Wednesday, Thursday. But come today, the other thing that's looking kind of funny here is that we ended up with a doji so that kind of like we're nice and bullish, but things are kind of slowing down with that doji there. So you got to be careful, and pay attention to your trading plans and your trading strategies at this time, because the only thing that we're going to see next week, will this market end up opening above pivot come next week on Monday, and see will it be able to gap above that high. I think that's what's going to be needed, just like it had the gap back here. This is the gap where we gapped above that 50 moving average and we ended up, again, as you can see, a lot of times once we do gap above those areas, we do end up going up a little bit higher, but then coming back down and testing these areas. And this is this little area that I had identified that would be what's going to be significant. And we did end up coming a little bit below that, but then we ended up gapping again, as you can see. So it's going to be a real rough ride, if we can make all-time highs, if it gets above those highs. And then once it does get above those highs, I think it's still going to be a rough ride for a while. But that's what I see here happening. And that's pretty much all I really want to share at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.